Hi, today I'm going to talk about Venus, the planet of love. Just like St. Valentine's is approaching now, let's talk about love. What else? And Venus is the planet which shows in our horoscope how we approach love, what is important in relationship for us. In a female's chart, Venus will show how worthy she feels of love, how well she receives and gives affection. A Venus that is not in a good position usually will make a woman feel less worthy, associate with less worthy people, make less worthy and less wise choices. In a male's horoscope, Venus will describe the wife or the women that a male is most often attracted to or somehow ends up being in relationship with, the kind of situation that you can meet your partner as well, the position of Venus can describe. Venus also describes how we make choices. Venus is the planet of choices, and of course the most important choices we make is about relationships. If you have a position, if you have a Venus in a difficult position, we will more often than not make wrong choices in relationships, generally in our life, but now we're going to speak about relationships. And let me first explain to you how you can find the position of your Venus. First, go to my website, astrolada.com, and go to the birth chart calculator. I have a great new professional birth chart calculator, but you need to know the time of your birth. It's very important, to find the position, the house position of Venus. You need to know your time of birth. Enter the time of birth correctly, enter the place you were born as well, and then the website will send you to a chart, a horoscope chart that looks something like that. And there are other things on the chart, but what you are going to look for is to see where the sign of the planet Venus is. So, Venus can be like that. Venus is written with the letters V, the starting two letters of Venus. And Venus can be in the first house, or Venus can be here. Just see where Venus is and what house, what number you have next to Venus in the quadrant, This will show the house position of your Venus. And once you have this house position, independent where Venus is, go and listen to the video for the respective position of Venus. If you have your Venus in the 7th house, watch, you see the number 7 here and you see Venus here, then go and watch Venus in the 7th house, the video for Venus in the 7th house. If you have your Venus in the 1st house, it means that, or maybe not only you, if you're attracted to someone who have their Venus in the 1st house, and especially if this Venus is very close to the degree of the ascendant, the exact degree of the ascendant, the rising. But anyway, if it's still in the sign of the 1st house, it means that these are people who actually very strongly attracted, because Venus shows what you're attracted to, are very strongly attracted to the physical body, to the appearance, because the ascendant is what the outside body. So these will be people, if you're attracted to someone with Venus in the 1st house, it's very important that you look good, It's very important that you dress well, that you dress harmoniously, that you have a sense and style as well of fashion, that your behavior is very agreeable as well, because Venus is the most pleasing to the eye and most pleasing to the ear planet. Basically, they will be attracted, people with Venus in the 1st house, to others who are kind-mannered, who are sweet-talking, who are sweet personalities as well. They come out very agreeably to others and kind to the eye as well. And they themselves, if you have Venus in the 1st house, you yourself become very attractive and harmonious. It gives a very beautifully formed body, because Venus is the planet of balance, so the body is kind of balanced and well proportionate. It will also make you, especially if you're a woman with Venus in the ascendant, because Venus in a woman's horoscope shows how you feel worthy, what you feel worthy about, what you value in yourself, and what you value is what will attract other people, is what will attract men towards you. And women with Venus in the 1st house are very often proud or very conscious of their body and their physical appearance, how they dress, their sense of fashion, their mannerism. you know. So this is something that very often women, people with ascendant in the first, with Venus in the first house, can over-identify with their physical appearance as well. You know, they can bet all their cards on how they look and how they dress, but still it makes an extremely magnetic person, because Venus is the strongest house in astrology is the first house. Any planet that falls there makes it part of the person, makes the person, it becomes the most powerful planet in the horoscope basically. And when Venus is the first house, it does become the most powerful planet in the horoscope. So you'll be very attractive people, you'll be very harmonious, you'll have great sense of fashion, a great eye for harmony and for beauty, aesthetic beauty. You know, especially if Venus is in its good signs, which is like Taurus, Libra. Venus feels really good in Pisces, in Capricorn, in Aquarius, and not so good in not so good in Virgo. Sorry. Then the qualities of Venus are quite subdued if Venus is in Virgo in the first house. But anyway, these are probably the most charming people of the whole, of everyone else who have Venus in the first house. They're quite lucky in relationships, to be honest. And when they like something, they're so magnetically drawn to it that, especially if you're a man with Venus in the first house, you'd go and get the women you want. You don't need anyone as an intermediary to introduce you or anything. You just, the moment you spot her, you're attracted immediately, and very often you'll be attracted to a woman because of her physical shape or because of her body form, you know. And women who have Venus type of body forms, which are very not too skinny, not too voluptuous, but perfectly harmonious, you know. And also, if you're a man with Venus there, you'll be very charming and sweet to the woman and very affectionate. Also, if you're a woman in your relationships, you'll be sweet and affectionate, and you will approach the people you like, you know. And you have a lot of success. Usually Venus in the first brings a lot of success with Venusian things like relationships, like attractions, like pleasurable activities, you know, relationships. That's what they tend to be, romantic affairs. Another interesting thing for those of you who have Venus in the first house is, yes, I think I said almost everything, you know. It makes you very potent as well, because Venus is the planet of potency. How it's not this, it's actually how much sex you can handle, you know, how much you can how active you can be. And Venus in the first house makes you extremely sensual person. You need to have affection, you need to have physical exchange with another. It's almost like one of the leading things, and it makes very amorous people very good at all these sensual, pleasurable activities of the sex, of, you know, sometimes even a bit too amorous, a bit too loving these pleasurable activities, you know. So if you know someone you're in love with Venus in the first house, usually these people that have Venus in the first house, everyone finds them very charming, everyone wants to be around them, they attract very easily partners, they're quite successful in relationships, you know, they have it really well. And if you want to impress someone like that, dress well, have pleasant mannerism, have pleasant, you know, way of projecting yourself.